like it feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back. As if we were here before earlier. That is a mystery that may never be solved. Hey, it's good to see you. I don't know if they finished on the other channel yet. Did they finish up? I don't know. It's getting late in the day, so I'm gonna hang out with you, talk to you here. We're gonna follow the manhunt that's going on in its 9th day. Who thought a week ago that the Dezi Freeman manhunt would go for 9 days? Not ping. I didn't think this would be going for so long, but sometimes these manhunts take a really long time. Even the ones in America have taken large amounts of time before. There was a press conference just in the last hour, which I'll bring you some of it in a second. It's good to see you all. How are you all today out there? It is nice to be back on the channel. Busy week so far. So yeah, we've been a little busy in the background for the last couple of days, sorting some stuff out for next week. But I want to bring you an update on this manhunt. So last week I brought you the very beginnings of it when it first happened. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, last week a man under a search warrant, they were searching his home, decided to fire on police, Victorian police, and killed 2 officers, killed 2 police officers. Very, very awful. Killed 2, a third one was injured, and now he went on the run. So after they got onto his property, he opened fire, killed 2 cops, and injured a third by shooting them in the thigh. Well, it still has not come to a close. We are all still waiting about what is going on. The cops say they are searching every avenue for him, and the media is starting to get a little antsy. I hear that they tried to ask a question today, and I will read it to you. So one of the questions here was, this has gone on for 9 days. Why is it so difficult? And the chief commissioner replied, you're here. You can see the environment. Searching for one person in this terrain is extremely challenging. We have the best people on this task, and I have full confidence in them. So, bit snappy with the media today. This is the this is the police commissioner. So this is chief commissioner. So we saw him last week. He was the one who did the original press conference on the day last week. We were waiting for it. It was about 6 something in the night last week. And they're saying here, what about Freeman's partner? Is she cooperating? And Detective Superintendent Kelly says she has been interviewed for obstructing police at the time of the incident. A brief of evidence will be compiled and she may be charged in due course. We are working with her solicitor and expect further engagement. They then go on to say, with a follow-up question, was she present during the shooting? And Detective Superintendent Kelly says, I can confirm that she was present on the morning of the incident. I will not go further into that matter. So take from that what you will. Take from that answer what you will about whether she was there and what happened on that morning and why they would have an obstruction, why they're investigating a obstruction charge for her. So I'm guessing that something went down when they did that search warrant on his home. Something happened because they wouldn't be interviewing her for obstruction of police at the time of the incident. So, it's starting to heat up. People are asking, why is it taking so long? And they're saying here they were asked about the financial cost to Victoria Police and the wider community of how much this search for Desi Freeman is costing. And they're saying that the commissioner, Mike Bush, didn't give a figure, instead, replying that it was a significant amount and that taxpayers expected it. Yes, we always expect millions of dollars of search money to be used. So there you go. While they wouldn't tell us how much it is costing, I'm guessing it's a lot of money. They're saying here he added he would be able to reveal the full cost at a later date. There you go. Full cost at a later time apparently. So let me try and see if I can pull up that interview for you. Let me see if I have it or not. Hey, how are you going out there? I hope you're all having a good day out there. Let's go over here. Let me see if I can find the full press thing here for you. Did we get it? I don't know that we did. Hold on. Let me check one other place. We did not, but that's okay. I've read you actually, we do have it. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can load it up. By the way, we have a different story from the AFP that I wanna go to a bit later. Very interesting about a seizure, but what they found in the seizure and how it was found, I'm gonna tell you about in a minute. Um, Curious as to what falls under obstruction. I'm guessing anytime you try and stop them from doing their job in some way, or helping the person who is under focus escape the area, might be considered obstruction, because you are obstructing the cops from arresting them. I mean, it could be a variety of things, but anytime stop them from completing what they want to do. Here. So yeah, the wife of self-proclaimed sovereign citizen Desi Freeman was present when he allegedly shot dead two officers and wounded a third at the couple's property in Victoria's northeast. They said in the press conference this afternoon, Mike Bush confirmed Freeman's wife was present on the morning of the incident. She and her eldest son, 15, were arrested at a different property last Thursday night. The pair were interviewed by police and later released, but they have not ruled out charging her with a crime. That'll be interesting whether they actually do that or not, or do they want to keep her on a leash so that she may keep giving them information, although the word over the weekend was that she was not being cooperative, is the word they used. So I don't know. What else they're saying here? Yeah, so in the last few days, one of the big things that came out about the search for Desi Freeman is on Monday or Sunday, they came out with this new bit of information where they started to appeal for other people who might be helping or harboring him. And that was very interesting because that's the first time the cops publicly acknowledged that there could be someone helping him. So, and they say here, I won't go into direct intelligence, but our elite team considers every possibility and deploys accordingly. We appeal to not just we appeal not just to him, but to all his associates. He does not deserve to be protected. He needs to be in custody and held accountable. And they say, yeah, so they're asking for these people who might be harboring him to, don't harbor him, basically. Audio Power, how are you, my friend? A technical mistake by police to talk about offering a reward, then people harboring him will delay until a reward happens. I don't think they talked about a reward. I think that was the media asking, are you going to offer a reward? And I think they basically said they weren't going to, or, they might consider it, but not right now. I'll see if I can find the question for you that details that. Yeah, they asked, will you consider offering a financial reward? And the chief commissioner said, every investigative option is on the table. But they asked him that same question a couple of days ago, and they gave a very similar response to it. So the fact that it's now been a few days since that information about harboring Dezi has come out, but there's been no reward, tells me that it's probably not something they're going to look into right away. Rachel said, I'm definitely thinking someone is helping him. When you see the terrain out there, I don't really understand how you couldn't think it's possible. I mean, they've had helicopters and search dogs, and if you watch the helicopter tracking, they've had at least one or several helicopters to Melbourne, up there and back each day. I've been watching it. Although, what was going on in Shepparton? Uh, this is not near the actual site of it, but something was going on in Shepparton earlier. They had the Pole 35 fixed wing aircraft out, and when you see like these zigzag lines like this, it means they've turned their normal tail traffic off. This is a different way of tracking aircraft, not the I'm not an aircraft person, but I just know that when you see the lines and they're all jagged like this, a plane doesn't fly in jagged motions like this. It's because of the type of tracking they're using. What does it say? MLAT. So normally they use a different type of tracker. Normally when they use the MLAT, it means they've turned the other one off. Why they turned it off and why they were in Shepparton, I don't know. I was just going to check for the other one, but actually I'm going to take a screenshot of that to check out later so that I can look at that a bit later. All right. Let's get rid of pole 35 and let's refresh. Let's see, do they have any aircraft out at the moment? I don't see any out right now. Who's that? Yeah, I don't see any out right now. Normally you'll see the big, like this guy here, but that's coming from a different direction. You'll see like the HM2 or the Pole 31 or the Pole 32 flying around, but I don't see them right now. So no aircraft that I can see, but they have been turning their trackers off lately since the search for Desi Freeman has been underway. A lot of the planes, as soon as they get outside of the Melbourne CBD, they've been going off radar, which is not normal. Like you can see on the map, there's planes and helicopters that are outside of the CBD. But as soon as it's been getting sort of north of the city, they've been turning off their tracker. So there you go, some information. When this all started, it was last week. If we are in day 9, it would have been last Monday. Last Monday. So last Monday is when it happened, 9 days. And what Monday would have been Sunday for you. So last Sunday if you're in America. Rachel said, I have to wonder if someone got him out before they got a perimeter set up. That's what I thought originally. I thought that maybe by the time the cops realized something was going on, and by the time they realized how severe the situation was, which may have not been super long, but that's enough time for maybe someone to sneak outside of the perimeter and or at least have someone help them in a car try get outside of the area. Missy said he will never surrender. I believe he has left this world on his terms. I mean, if he's ever found, he is coming back to a very severe life in prison. I mean, you killed 2 cops. It is one of the worst police shootings in maybe a couple of decades, maybe since the 90s when um, there was some police shootings in the 90s actually in my area where I live, in Moorabbin. So in Moorabbin in the 90s, there was some very severe. Yeah, I'll show you. There was these, yeah, the Silk Miller murders. These happened back in 1998, and I think this might be the last one where multiple officers were killed. So it was out in Moorabbin, and the police officers were staking out the Silky Emperor restaurant near the corner of Cochrane's and Warrigal Road, Moorabbin, at approximately midnight when they were gunned down by someone at close range. So this was 2 officers that were killed. It was they were looking for a armed robbery. They were part of the armed robbery task force, and they were trying to find people who were knocking over restaurants, like Asian restaurants, and they ended up being killed. So there was a giant operation. They arrested someone over it, but this is the last time I can sort of remember a operation this big. So it's been a number of years since the Silk Miller police murders. So it was a number of years ago, 1998. There's a good documentary on this one if you're interested in this particular set of cops who were shot and killed. There is a good documentary on it. Hold on, Silk Miller murders documentary. Let me see if I can find it. Is it this one? There's a couple. There is Underbelly. Tell them Lucifer was here. That is like a dramatic retelling, like a dramatization of that particular story. So that is another Underbelly. And then let's see. I don't know. That might be the only one I can think of right now, but if you want to watch it, it's pretty good. It'll tell the story. I have a feeling it was also in. There's another true crime one, Australian true crime or one of them, but if you want to watch it, you could probably find this on Amazon or Netflix or something like that. Not that one. Good work, Ping. Good work. Not that one. This one. So that'll detail that story about the killing in 1998. This one. So it's more like a dramatization, though. Yeah, so it's been a number of years since we've had a police killing like this one. Like I said, 1998 is the one I can remember. So it's a big deal. Just like this one, there was a huge manhunt after those 2 cops were killed. And this one is just as large, but they did eventually track down the 2 guys in 1998. And they're going to track down this guy eventually too. Audio Power said 90s drama The Phoenix as well as on YouTube covered police unalivings in Melbourne crime gang too. Okay, I don't know that one. I'll have a look at it though. Hey Michaela, how are you? Sent here from Web Sleuths. No sleep tonight for several of us. Hey, good to meet you. Good to meet you. That's the name of my hairdresser. My hairdresser's name is Michaela. Actually, not my hairdresser, her hairdresser, but they do my hair too, just because I'm there. So yeah. Hey Anna, how are you? Walsh? Walsh, yeah. Yes. So let me bring you this interview if it'll play. If it'll play. All right, we're gonna go here.
It's been a week and a day since this horrific murder of 2 Victorian police officers. Our resolve and determination grows by the day to bring this to a peaceful conclusion and a safe conclusion. On Friday and next Monday, we will have the funerals for our 2 fallen officers. The community, Victoria Police, the wider community of Victoria would love to see that safe conclusion to this prior to those funerals. I do appeal to the person responsible to hand themselves in immediately. And my message to him is that your destiny is in your hands. I'm here today. To understand the immediate plan and the future plan for this operation. We have a very high-performing investigation team that are enabling and informing our search team. And very shortly I'm going to hand to Detective Superintendent Jason Kelly to brief you on the investigation and the search.
So there you go, the first part of it. I always find it interesting when the commissioner here talks. It's almost like he has a I don't know if he does, but it's almost like he has a an auto cue that is very slow, and he's trying to wait for it to catch up so he can keep talking. Every time he does a speech, I think that it's almost like it runs too slow for him. Rachel said, I feel bad for the local community too. Everyone has to be on edge. Hopefully they find him soon. Yeah, the fact that it's surrounded this one community for this long, and they've had road closures. Some of the schools have been closed in the area too for a extended period of time. There's been raids on different houses throughout the week and the weekend. So some neighbors are getting woken up in the middle of the night to police raiding properties, trying to track him down. So all right, let's play the rest.
Before I do, I want to acknowledge again.
Yeah, I want to jump forward to the to Kelly. Yeah.
Desmond Freeman. Crime Command, which is part of Victoria Police, has deployed a significant number of resources, and as you've heard previously from the Chief Commissioner, hundreds of police with specialist support have been deployed up here into the Hume region. The homicide investigation is progressing through our homicide squad, and a number of statements and evidence collection has been completed since this crime was committed. What I can also and would like to update you is in relation to the search for Desmond Freeman. Victoria Police is very pleased in terms of the community assistance we've received to date. We have received hundreds of phone calls, and the community is providing information. The associates of...
You know, I'm going to stop the press conference because I do wonder sometimes who comes up with the clever idea to run a press conference at the side of a busy road with terrible audio. I have a funny, it's like, is there nowhere else you could do the press conference? Do you not have a school hall that you could use or some sort of community center? Is there nowhere that you could, so the audio can be decent? So as you heard in that, they are going to be having the funerals for the 2 police that were killed, and it is going to be, I thought they were going to have it next week, but they must be having it tomorrow, which is Thursday the 4th. That'll be a very emotional day for not just police, but a lot of Victorians too. It sounds like they're going to have it out at the training. They have a training facility near, I think it's Glen Waverley. That's probably where they'll have it. They have done things out at that particular place before. I'm just trying to see if they have any updates about that funeral. Hold on. All right, hold on. All right. Yeah, so they announced the police funerals, and I want to get you some more. They said Victoria's top cop has announced the dates for the funerals of fallen officers, and they're saying they are due to be held on Friday and Monday, next Monday. So it'll be Friday this week, they'll do one, and then on Monday, they'll do the second one. Pretty crazy. Yeah, on Friday and next Monday, we will have the funerals for our 2 fallen officers. And they say the community, the Victoria Police, and the wider community of Victoria would love to see that safe conclusion prior to these funerals. And he says, I do appeal to the person responsible to hand themselves in immediately. And my message to them is that your destiny is in your hands. You know, how many of you think he's still alive out there? I would love to know. How many of you think he is being harbored by someone? And how many of you think he is alone, still in the bushland, like outrunning the cops after 9 days? I would like to know what people think. Audio Power says one of the police officers has relatives in Belgium who have come as well. It's probably why it's taken a number of days. Hold on. Okay. Joe said, I did an interview with a group of girls that were visiting the Kerr County Memorial. I did it alongside the road and the audio was horrible. So he said, I'm an amateur and it was still impactful. Yeah, it's an interesting spot. Danny says, I think he's out there. Betsy says, like Travis Decker. Well, no one's got any clue whether Travis Decker is out there or he is the pile of bones they found last week. So what is in the criminal's background? He's had some interesting background, nothing really severe. He's attended court a number of times, mostly traffic violations. Some of it's been a bit weird. I posted some of it last week. He with this sort of Freeman ideology, I'll show you. He's been in the Supreme Court a few times. I just want to find that old. There was like a really old article back from 2020 when he tried to fight the police on a traffic ticket in the Supreme Court, and he basically did nothing. The justice was like, "What are you doing here? Why are you saying this thing?" They basically were confused about what he was talking about. I'm just trying to find his old article. Da-da-da. Yeah. So this was one of the articles from a while ago. Seems like it's been updated. And they say here, at the heart of Dezi Freeman's numerous court cases and interactions with police and judicial officers were misplaced feelings of victimization and a misunderstanding of the justice system. They say the Border Mail covered several of Freeman's court cases before he came to international attention following a fatal police shooting on Tuesday, August 26. They say the legal proceedings at times descended into ranting and screaming. And they said with Dezi Freeman telling a judge during one matter that God had his finger on him. Okay. And they said Freeman was picked up by police on the Great Alpine Road at Popunka on September 28, 2020. He was driving 16 kilometers an hour over the limit and had a heated exchange with an acting sergeant who intercepted him. Freeman underwent a breath test but refused a drug test, then drove off while using his mobile to film police. The conspiracy theorists had labeled police terrorists and corrupt filth. They're saying he did not turn up to the Wangaratta court when the case was heard on June 30, 2022, and was convicted in his absence. They're saying Freeman was banned from driving for 2 years and fined $1,200. The driving ban, which was mandatory due to the drug refusal. So if you refuse a drug test in Victoria on a roadside, so if the cops pick you up and they breathalyze you and then they do a drug test, but you refuse it, if you refuse the alcohol test or the drug test or both of them, it is a 2-year ban for driving, like automatically. And they said there is no discretion available to the magistrate because it is just it's a flat sentence. And they said it set off a series of appeals in which Freeman expressed contempt for the justice system. He said he was strongly contesting the charges. Sure, you can contest them, but you need to provide some sort of evidence. And they said, but the 2-year driving ban was confirmed in the county court last April. Freeman gave bizarre evidence in the Supreme Court while appealing the county court outcome last year. He said he was acting in self-defense and under duress, and claimed he was acting in circumstances of a sudden or extraordinary emergency. He says, I felt threatened and preyed upon. Even the sight of a cop or a cop car, it's like Auschwitz. He said he's like, it's an Auschwitz survivor seeing a Nazi soldier. What's worse than a swastika is the inverted pentagram, the satanic symbol that they wear, and they behave like it as well. He's talking about the shield that Victoria police wear. He said the conspiracy theorists claimed he was subject to unlawful conduct and unlawful detention. How can you be subject to unlawful detention when you drove away in your car while holding a phone and filming? How are you detained somehow? You seem to have many hands to be able to drive and film at the same time. I don't know if that's detainment. I think your definitions are a little off. They say that Border Mail was in court on November 6 last year when an enraged Freeman had his case dismissed by Justice James Gorton. Shame on you, he shouted. God's got his finger on you, mate. There's no escaping. Freeman spoke to Justice Gorton about when calamity strikes your life, mate. Okay. During an earlier Wangaratta case before Magistrate Peter Dunn, which was illegally filmed and posted online, Freeman tried to arrest Mr. Dunn and police. He warned they would be escaping custody if they left. And he says, Peter Dunn, I arrest you for aiding and abetting. I arrest you for acting oppressively, and when interested and perverting the course of justice, you must stand down. You are now in my custody and under arrest. You are not free to leave. For the Supreme and High Court justices listening to this recording in future, take note that the magistrate is under arrest for serious crimes against you. He immediately took his documents and left. Okay. So you arrested a magistrate and then just picked up your documents and left. I don't think does the magistrate live in your documents, or how does that work? I'm confused. Why would you just leave if apparently you have arrested them? Okay. A video was filmed outside the court and further claims were made, with the footage posted online before being removed. In another case in 2021, he tried to prosecute then Premier Daniel Andrews for treason. I mean, I'm sure we'd all love to do that to him, but I don't think that's the way to do it. Chief Commissioner Mike Bush on Friday, August 29, declined to say whether Freeman was on any watch list. I would say he was. How was he able to have access to multiple firearms at the time of the shooting, despite having no license, is being investigated. So there's a little taste of his previous run-ins with the court system. I don't know how you try and arrest a magistrate or a justice. I find that bizarre. Um, yeah, for the Supreme and High Court justices listening to this recording in the future, take note that the magistrate is under arrest for serious crimes against you. I wonder if the future magistrates and court justices did listen to that recording or not and were like, oh, someone was arrested. It's bizarre. Kathy Lynch said he's not mentally stable, but is he capable of hiding out? I don't think that is like the Venn diagram of what's going on. I don't think mentally stable and capable. There's no like, there's no middle here between those two ideas. I think you could be somewhat crackers and still be competent. So, I mean, he shot and killed 2 cops. Must be pretty somewhat competent with a gun. Michaela says, rules for thee, but not for me. Delusional and feelings of grandeur, especially when you try to arrest a magistrate and tell them that they are in your custody. Guys, give me 2 seconds. Hold on. All right. There we go. What does Gala think? Gala think, I think if there's like-minded people in the area, they will be helping. I would say you are right. If he is getting help, I don't think he would be that far away. Gail said, I think that too. Well, we'll find out. I mean, they've had hundreds of cops. I think they've even called in the army now. So let me see. Army. I'm pretty sure they've called in military. Yep. Sky News Australia has it up here just briefly. Australian Army called in to assist Victoria Police in the hunt for alleged cop killer Dezi Freeman. Freeman. So they're saying specialist military units will be deployed in Papunya after Victoria Police requested ADF assistance to help track down an alleged cop killer, Dezi Freeman. They're saying hundreds of Victorian police personnel have been deployed to Victoria's high country to help find the self-proclaimed sovereign citizen since he allegedly shot and killed 2 police officers late in August. So now they're saying VicPol have requested assistance from the ADF, with Defense Minister Richard Marles announcing the request would be met. So now we have military as well. Danny agreed. He did. You think he won't stay gone forever? Interesting. I don't know. Joe Schmo said Laurie Daybell is a prime example of the situation that someone can be somewhat crackers and yet still be found competent to assist in their defense at trial, but then they represent themselves. No. Laurie Laurie Vallow Daybell is fully crackers. She is full. She is like the most crackers person I have ever listened to, heard of, seen, anything. She is the definition. She is just gone with the fairies. Like, it's so funny to me that they how if this is how bad she is now in the trial that she's had, if that's how bad she is, how bad was she when they were like, she's not okay to stand trial. She still needs psychiatric intervention. Like when that happened a couple of years ago, and they were saying that she couldn't go to trial because she was so mentally ill, and they're trying to fix her so they could get to trial. How bad was she then? If this is what she is now and they think she's okay. That's what I want to know. How bad was it back then? Audio Power User said Laurie Vallow Daybell and Daryl Brooks need to do the World Championship final of who is the most crackers. That's right, they do. Gail said when you look up crackers in the dictionary, it has a photo of Laurie. It should, because she is 100% crackers. Ping, are you calling Laurie a cracker? Well, she is. Both definitions. Crackers in the head, and she is a cracker. So, Marylanders. So here, so our defense minister said we are providing a planning specialist in relation to this, the effort to find Dezi. That comes after a request from Victoria Police. We're also providing some air surveillance assets, and again, coming after a request from Victoria Police. Ooh, air surveillance. That is interesting. What are they going to do? Wonder what aircraft they are giving to them. Maybe a Pegasus? I don't know. Could you imagine a Pegasus flying around Victoria? That aircraft? I don't know if they would. There is some strange aircraft activity heading on this afternoon in Victoria. There is a helicopter circling down near a river. So I don't know what happened, but I'll show it to you here just briefly. I don't know if someone had a road accident or someone is injured, but they are circling out in the area south of Bendigo, not close to where Dezi Freeman is located, but somewhere further away. But interesting. What are here? Latest revelations come as Herald Sun revealed family and neighbors of Freeman had branded him a coward and a hypocrite who had benefited from hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer-funded welfare payments despite claiming not to recognize the legitimacy of the Australian state. Interesting. So you don't recognize our government, our laws, our police, our anything, but you'll definitely take some money from them. Interesting. They said he never worked, never had any money. That's what used to shit me too, because he was so against the government, but then got his Centrelink check every week, according to a former neighbor. A relative of the fugitive told the Herald Sun he had been receiving a disability pension for more than 20 years, although they were unsure how he qualified for it, adding his family viewed him as a hypocrite. He always told everyone how poor he was and that he was a victim. The whole family kind of laughed at him, according to a relative. So apparently his own family didn't believe what he had to say. Interesting. SP Mama said I didn't know that. I knew the slang, which also which brands I like to eat. Where's SP Mama? SP Mama said crackers has an interesting connotation in the US about the patriarchy and presidents who were religious zealots. It's all connected. Okay. I don't know anything about your crackers presidents or the patriarchy. I'm sorry. You'll have to tell me how to find that history of crackers. Hold on, who's emailing me? Okay, good. No one. All right, let's see. Woman of Steel said, that's all they do. The US does not recognize sovereign citizens. We recognize them when we smash their windows in. That's what we do. Chipmunk says, love people like that. What, hypocrites? Yeah, that's true. Glitter was here at one point. I don't know if she's here right now. She was here earlier. I don't know if she's here right now. Okay. That's all I want to tell you about that. The search is ongoing. Funerals are planned for Friday and Monday. And now the military has been involved and they are starting to get more things to help in the search. I mean, I guess there's only so many people that they can bring up from Victoria Police. 450 officers have been involved in the search for Dezi Freeman so far. 450. And they're saying here that the search for him is costing millions of dollars. Millions to try find him. And I get it. It's very important. Can't have people walking around killing cops, but I guess the Victoria Police want to make sure they catch him. So Joe Schmo said Crackers also has a history of verbiage in Florida. Has to do with cattle herders cracking the whip over the cattle to drive them. Interesting. Let's see. Who was that? Danny Mitchell. Where is Mr. Dan Yee? I don't see him, but oh yeah. Glitter was not forever. Apparently not. Apparently not. All right, I want to show you this because it's one of the craziest bits of footage I've ever seen. Here it goes. Did you guys see this earlier today? Did you see the president of the US release this video? All right, if you didn't see it, I am going to show it to you because it is bonkers. I am going to pull this up. If I can find it. All right, there we go. Fine, we'll watch this one. So did you guys see this video that President Trump released earlier today? The moment the United States bombs a narco-terrorist speedboat. This is one of the most brutal footage I think I've watched recently. Yeah, we'll watch it. So this is from news.com.au, unclassified video. Now watch what happens here. See the speedboat, it's got all the drugs, all of the drugs. And then it just goes kaboom. You see it flying across the water and then kaboom. I didn't know that we bombed drug boats. Are they going to start? What about the submarines? How do you take those out? That is some pretty crazy video. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. Look at this unclassified video. Apparently it killed 11 of them. 11. So there you go. That's 11 less drug importers for America. There you go. Here we go. There's a better version of the video. I want to share it with you. Just give me a sec. Stay with me, my friends. I'm just trying to find it. Here we go. So they're saying they vaporized it. Yeah, we'll play it in full. I'm going to pause the stupid music. There's another view of this footage. You don't even see it coming. That's like the bonkers thing. Let's go back. It's just like there's a boat. And then suddenly it's all fire. Yeah. There you go. Killed 11 narco traffickers. So no more drugs for any people. Sorry. Someone's talking outside my home. Chipmunk says, so much fake AI. Yeah, let me pause this video. So much fake videos and AI, people to make others... What? Yeah. Could be fake AI, but I don't think so. Espionage said, apparently Trump was totally honest for days and days. People thought he was dead. And the image they showed was a masked fake. Sure. I'm sure it's Halloween soon. Maybe they're just testing out their new batch of Halloween masks for people. Chipmunk says saves a lot of money for the courts and jails. Yes. Michaela said that must be why my drugs didn't get delivered today. It's late. It's late. Coming all the way from Venezuela. That's a long, dialer dealer. So maybe next time try find someone closer to you that's in your city and doesn't have to cross an ocean. On that boat, they were sitting there going, we have to get to Michaela. Michaela put that order in 3 hours ago and we're late. She's going to be waiting at her doorstep in some undescript American city. And then they got bombed. And then bomb came, blew up their boat. I mean, Michaela didn't get her drugs, unfortunately. Michaela didn't get her stuff. Shane Gillis? Could be. Gillis said, I've not seen him since everyone said he was dead. Who? President Trump? Didn't he do an announcement today or something? Do you get it's free if it's late? Yeah. If it's not hot and under 25 minutes, do you get a free drugs? Michaela, you have to let us know. Kathy Lynch says, Michaela, you should have used Amazon. Danny Mitchell says, Drug Dash. There you go. A business idea for you. You can use it. By the way, thank you for gifting a membership to Danny. Danny gifted it, and Kathy gifted one too. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Hold on. All right. I don't know. We're having new people move in. So there's new people moving in to another apartment, and I can keep hearing them going up and down my hallway. Hey, Danny, good to see you. All right, so there you go. I wanted to show you that because that's pretty bonkers. I don't think I've seen someone just ignite a boat full of narco traffickers. Pretty impressive, pretty somewhat funny. All right, let's go here. Let's see what else we got to update you on. What else is on? Oh, this is good. Let's head to Las Vegas because why not? Why not? Man killed during photo shoot. Well, that tends to be a bad way of things happening. On August 23, 2025 at approximately 4:47 a.m. What kind of photo shoot happens at 4:47 a.m.? The Las Vegas Metro Police Department dispatch received a report of a male shot in the 1000 block of Nassau Drive. Arriving officers located a male lying on the sidewalk suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. Officers immediately rendered aid until medical personnel arrived. The victim was pronounced deceased at the scene. LVMPD homicide section was notified and took over the investigation. Detectives learned the victim was taking pictures of 20-year-old Alessandra Blair posing with a firearm by a vehicle. During the photo shoot, the gun discharged and the victim was shot. After discussing the case with the Clark County District Attorney's Office, Alessandra was arrested on August 26, 2025 and booked into the Clark County Detention Center for open murder with a deadly weapon. The identification of the victim as well as the cause and manner of death will be released by Clark County Coroner's Office. Okay. I want to know more about this. Let's look up 20. She's 20 years old. Let's have a look. Woman arrested for photo. Yeah, here we go.
Local woman accused of shooting and killing a man believed to be her boyfriend during a photo shoot appeared in court. 20-year-old Alessandra Blee has been charged with open murder after shooting and killing Mark Gahn. According to the arrest report, she admitted that she did have the gun and that it somehow discharged while he was taking pictures of her. During today's hearing, she was appointed a public defender. Her next court appearance is set for October the 2nd.
So, do you believe this was an accident? The Las Vegas Metro Police don't believe so. The fact that they charged her with open murder is pretty brutal, and with a deadly weapon. Let's see if I can find anything else here. Photo shoot turns deadly. Yeah, sorry, Joe, for keeping you awake. Here, I'm going to take you to News 3 Las Vegas.
Deadly. Police say a man lost his life after the girl he was dating fires a shot during a modeling session. Right now, investigators learning more about the suspect, including how she's related to someone tied to an infamous case from 15 years ago. News 3's Will Silverstein joins us now to break it all down for us. And Will, first, let's start addressing this loaded weapon and how it may have slipped into the shoot in the first place.
Yeah, Latoya, what happened was Alessandra Blea and Mark Gahn, they were participating in a late night photo shoot with a couple other people. What happened next involved weapons and was deadly.
According to law enforcement, it's a clear case of extreme negligence and recklessness.
Former prosecutor John Day says prosecutors will not be easy on 20-year-old Alessandra Blea's claim, seen in arrest reports, that she did not know the weapon she allegedly fired into Mark Gahn was loaded.
Basic gun handling practices are you assume that every gun is loaded.
Gahn, just 23 years old, died after the August 23rd shooting. According to those arrest reports, Blea and Gahn were participating in a photo shoot with Blea holding a weapon. Blea claims she lifted her arm during a camera flash and the firearm went off, the shot hitting Gahn in the neck.
Using a gun as a prop, using a gun as a toy or a plaything often leads to tragedy, as we see.
Blea may not be the first in her family who has committed a crime. Through a source, News 3 finds Blea is related to convicted serial rapist Joseph Blea, a person of interest in Albuquerque, New Mexico's West Mesa murders. Our former prosecutor John Day was also once a deputy district attorney in New Mexico.
Only related to one of the most unsolved, most brutal crimes in West Mesa. So if you don't know that case, we've actually done it on this channel a couple of times. The West Mesa case is where in this desert area, they started uncovering bodies out there. They found a couple and then they found some more and they end up finding a whole heap of them. Very similar to the Long Island serial killer. And they even had satellite photos where you can actually see different graves after a period of time. You can actually see new graves being formed in the area. So to be associated with that and then yourself commit a open murder with a deadly weapon. The thing I have to ask though is how come you just left the guy there to bleed out on the sidewalk? How come you're like, the photo shoot went wrong and I just left him there so the cops could find him? Like, why didn't no CPR, no first aid, nothing like that? No? Okay. I understand why you're charged with murder now.
And shares how the West Mesa murders were uncovered.
Person who was out there walking stumbled upon some bones, turned out to be human bones. Once law enforcement went out there, they found a series of women's bodies that had been buried there.
Real environment that was alive that allowed these things to happen.
Vince McDaniel lives in Albuquerque and was on the ground in 2009 when the bodies were uncovered. He was inspired to write a movie that released last year about the murders. The film, called Boneyard, featured actors Mel Gibson and 50 Cent. McDaniel hopes his movie and this story shine a light on the victims and their families.
These young ladies don't have a voice right now, and they were just put in like a category of they were prostitutes, they were this, they were that, when they were more than that.
And heading back to this particular case, Alessandra Blea has been charged with open murder with a deadly weapon.
I feel like there's a lot more questions to be answered here. I still want to know who gives someone a loaded gun at a photo shoot. I find that strange. Just, hey, here's a gun. I'm going to stand in front of you and you sort of look, you look really sexy in the car or whatever. And, do the gun things, point the gun around. Come on, like, someone died? Are you sure? Like, seems a bit stupid. Hey, Aussie Tad, how are you, my friend? Did he say others were there? That's what I thought I heard. Let's see. Yeah, so pretty brutal story. Yeah, she didn't believe it was loaded when she started posing with it. Police wrote that they reviewed her social media and found messages that revealed she had a fascination with firearms. There were several messages about her love of shooting guns and building an arsenal, and photos of her holding different firearms. In one conversation, Alessandra commented, "I wish I could shoot people with real guns and get away with it," and suggested going to the tunnels. If it's only one a night, the police will remain clueless. Well, my dear, that sounds like premeditation. I think that's probably why the cops didn't believe your story about, "I was just posing with the gun and it just went off and so happened to hit the guy in the neck." I am just a, you know, naive, clueless little girl. I didn't mean for this to happen. You sure about that? You sure about that? Very interesting.
Speaking of this case, Will, what was her knowledge of firearms? Is she even experienced enough to have checked them in the first place?
According to the arrest report, Latoya, what we had seen there was that she had said she had not taken gun safety classes, but according to her social media and according to what investigators say, they describe it as a fascination with firearms, including several instances of posts involving targets, firearms themselves, and just an overall interest in firearms as a whole.
Okay, and when it comes to her relative, why was he a person of interest in the West Mesa murders?
Yes, and good to note there too, he's a person of interest, not a suspect in that particular case. That relative was a serial rapist known for involvement in potentially raping middle-aged schoolgirls. That was the believed age he was.
Yeah, so now that they said at the end about which part of the West Mesa case it is, he was a guy who was in the area of West Mesa for a period of time and then moved away. And then I think he worked with children or something. He worked in another state, and they ended up tracking him down later. I think they found him with some CSAM material or something like that, and they think he was somehow connected to the West Mesa. But there are several people, two in particular. That guy there, the one that's related to this girl, and then another guy who most likely seem like the two best suspects for the Mesa killings, because after one of them died, there was no more bodies that showed up, and they sort of think, well, the killing sort of stopped after this dude died, so most likely it could be him, which sounds like a pretty good theory. Chipmunk said, "That's funny. I feel bad, guy." I know what you're talking about. Michaela said, "FAFO, guns aren't cute. She is culpable, whether it's accidental or not. Could the photographer have been a witness?" I think that's the guy that died. I mean, maybe he's a witness to his own death. Gayla said, "Why have a loaded gun in the first place?" Yeah. Doesn't sound right. Why did you have to do a photo shoot at 4 a.m.? Danny says, "Vegas, 4 a.m. guns, probably sober." Probably, Danny, probably. I mean, what else would you be at 4 a.m. in Vegas? All right, let me see if we can find anything else about Alessandra. I want to see if we find. So apparently she appeared in court as well. Yeah, I want to see if we can find the full thing here. All right, I'm gonna go and see if we can find the not that one. Hold on, guys. I want to find the full one from earlier today, because she was in court earlier today. Doesn't look like they've updated it yet. to the latest video, but it'll probably be up at some point. Yeah, Alessandra. Yeah, I wish I could shoot people. I don't think you should keep messages like that and then go and shoot someone. It seems like a good way to incriminate yourself. Let's see what else we can find. Yeah, I wish I could shoot people. Woman accused of fatally shooting boyfriend during Vegas photo shoot. Silly people. What else does it say here about her? Las Vegas Metro Police found conversations about firearms on the Instagram account of a woman who is accused of shooting and killing her boyfriend during a photo shoot. The LVMPD charged Alessandra Blea, 20, with the death of Mark Gauguin. They say she told police they had been dating a little over 6 months. And they're saying here that he was found with a gunshot wound to the neck and he died at the scene. Police learned from the 911 caller that the couple came over around midnight that night and started to drink. Well done, Danny. The court told police he fell asleep and woke up to screaming. When he went outside, Alessandra said she accidentally shot her boyfriend. According to the arrest report, officers found 2 Polaroid photos that showed her holding a firearm and another girl holding a knife. The other girl was the 911 caller's girlfriend. So there's multiple people there. So she didn't call 911, even though she's the one who fired the weapon at her own boyfriend. Interesting. It had to be. According to the report, at approximately 4:30 a.m., the 2 girls thought about doing a photo shoot before the 911 caller fell asleep. He said he unloaded his firearm by removing the magazine, emptying the chamber, and locking the slide back. The caller's girlfriend told police she went to change, and when she returned, she noticed the magazine was placed back inside the firearm. She said they used the gun and a knife as props. She was interviewed by police. She said the shooting was accidental and admitted that she had never taken any firearm safety courses and believed the firearm did not have a bullet in the chamber. Well, that is very different to what the guy who owned the gun said. He said that he cleared the chamber and took the magazine out and locked it. So how did the bullets end up back inside the gun? Gayla said, I wish that, but only had guns on the range. Yes, okay. Chipmunk said, the lady that played the Wicked Witch was from my town. Oh, really? Interesting. Rachel said, great combo, booze, showing off, and guns. I know, right? Clever people. They said here, police noted that Alessandra appeared to have knowledge and experience with firearms because of her Instagram account. She was arrested 3 days after the shooting on August 26 and faces that charge of open murder with a deadly weapon. She is due in court September 2nd for an initial appearance, which was today. So she was in court. That's where those new photos come from. All right, let's see. I want to see if there's any more court footage of her. What a very silly little girl. Cost someone their life, and now she's going to have to go through a trial unless she pleads guilty. So yeah, let's take you to 3 News. They have a little bit. Woman arrested. Yeah, so they're saying she stood in court and silently shook her head as the judge asked if she understood the criminal complaint formally charging her with murder. She was appointed a public defender to represent her, and a preliminary hearing was scheduled for October 2nd. So it sounds like we're not going to get too much more until next month. So there you go. You can see her in court. I think we already showed this photo. I wish we had the video for her court session. But there you go. A modeling session turns violent, and I don't know, sounds like murder. Sounds like possible murder. All right, Kathy, what are you sending me? 17-year-old charged after fatal shooting in Rowan County. Lenore City teen dead. This is from Tennessee. What is it, my friend? 17-year-old from Rockwood is accused of fatally shooting a Lenore City teen and pistol whipping another teen on Saturday. Pistol whipping. That's definitely what you want to do. On Sunday morning, more than 20 teenagers and young adults were at a party near a Mr. Clean business. That's definitely where you want to go party, near a Mr. Clean business. They say in Harriman, Rowan County. They say, according to the DA, there were guns and alcohol at the party. And they say Holden House Lavita, 18, from Lenore City, was shot in the head, was taken to the University of Tennessee Medical Center and pronounced dead. The Harriman police arrived at the scene around 4:30 a.m. What is with 4:30 a.m.? Apparently people get shot around that time. Officers pulled over a speeding vehicle with two people who were leaving the party. Police suspected one occupant, a 17-year-old whose name is being withheld, of shooting the victim and hitting another man with the gun. They say Johnson asked the FBI to help investigate, not FBI, TBI. They said some aspects of the investigations are still ongoing. Officials are considering whether or not to release the name of the suspect. The 17-year-old faces the following charges: second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and destruction of evidence. So, another shooting at 4:30 a.m. in the morning that went a little, awry. Yeah. Here we go. We'll go to WATE News. They have the name of the shooter. So here.
17-year-old Riley Prowlick has been charged with murder after he was accused of shooting and killing a Lenore City teenager over the weekend. Reportedly, Prowlick was in an argument with another teenager. Then he pulled out a gun, loaded it, and hit that teenager in the head, which caused that gun to go off, killing 18-year-old Holden House Lavada. Prowlick ran away, got rid of the gun before officers caught up to him. Prowlick now faces charges of second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and destruction of evidence. He's being held in the Knox County Juvenile Detention Facility.
Danny, no, we're not spinning or we're not buffering. It seems to be, I just checked while we were getting out of that video. Seems we're okay. I'm just checking to see if we got in trouble. Seems we're okay. I don't see any problems. Chipmunk says, yep. Yep. All right. Danny says Alec Baldwin is a tool. Sure. I get it. Hey, profiler. Chemicals. Sure. Kathy said, I thought a gun couldn't go off unless the trigger was pulled. I don't know. You believe some of these criminals, they'll tell you all sorts of things about how guns go off. Yeah, I don't see any issues. All right. Woman of Steel said that movie was once here. Are you talking about that movie that they're talking about? You're buffering? We're not buffering. It must be YouTube. It looks all good from my end. Let's see. All right. I think we're going to wind up, even though it was a bit of a short show tonight. Yeah, let me check something. By the way, thank you to my friend. I'm not going to say their name, but that was very kind of you. Thank you very much for that donation. That is very, very kind. I don't know if you want me to read your comment out or not. Yes, I agree with you. There was a funny comment in their donation. I don't know. You might get me banned from PayPal. They'll probably think they might think I'm Aaron Patterson. They, if you start talking about poisoning in your comments, they might think I'm Aaron. Chipmunk said there is a change to see the color in the movie. Sure, I believe you. Joe said I'm buffering, but probably only because I should be sleeping. Okay, maybe we should end then. If we're starting to get buffering issues, I don't know why. My net. Oh, by the way, in like 5 days, our internet is getting boosted by the company. So in like 5 days, we're getting double the upload. So it should mean that the streams will look even better. They'll be in a higher quality bit rate in about 5. Oh wait, what day is it today? No, in about 11 days. In about 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, they're doubling our upload for free. So we're on like 50 megabit. They're upping it to 100 megabit upload. So that'll be really good. It means we should be able to do the shows in a higher quality. So yeah. TV and phones are just fine. Just a few seconds delay on the TV. Yeah. Hopefully in about 10 days that'll fix it. So Gail said, "Did you do a show earlier or was it cancelled?" I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do any shows earlier. I didn't tell you guys anything about Monday. Michaela said, "Must be a skill issue." That's right. Must be a skill issue. that's the reply to everything where it's not your problem. It must be a skill issue. Joe said, "In 8 days, the Emmy report for London Valdez should drop. Stay tuned." What was the preliminary one? Did you after what you showed from 2 days ago? Chipmunk said, "Thank you, Ping. Great information. Thanks for your time." Yes, thank you. What have we got coming up? Well, Monday. We got a lot coming up on Monday. Now, I've had some clarification. So if you saw the show that I never did a couple hours ago, which means I never did a show, I may have told you something that I never told you. It's looking like Monday will work a little bit differently. Now, I've spoken to some people behind the scenes and I've sort of been like trying to get stuff into place for Monday. So if you don't know what Monday is Aaron Patterson's sentencing. I will be able to show that to you, but it'll be different to what I explained the other time. So you guys will get to see it in its entirety, but it may be later. It may be later. So that's unfortunately what's probably going to happen. Woman of Steel said yes. Yes. But thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be good. So good to see your friends in chat. Yeah, Sunday in the USA about 7:30 Eastern. About 7:30 Eastern in the PM. So yeah. Yes, make sure you're around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Make sure you set your alarm. It'll be sometime after that. Sometime after, I believe we'll probably be on around 9 p.m. Eastern is probably what time we will get it done. Gail said, "What time for you?" It will be, I think we'll probably be on about midday, so lunchtime Monday. So yeah, by the sounds of everything going on in the background with this, it sounds like by the time everything is said and done and all the background things happen, you guys will already know what the sentence is. If you are looking for it, you will already know. But if you would like to see it, I will show it to you. So that's all I can tell you. Luna still said, "I'm going to be glued to my phone all day. I will glue it to my forehead." Don't do that. You'll end up like that girl who put like Gorilla Glue in her hair, thinking like it was a good idea. And then she had to have like several surgeries to remove the glue from. Do you remember that girl? She like bought Gorilla Glue and glued it on her hair to like slick it back. And then she had to have like multiple surgeries to correct it. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was like one of the craziest things. Yeah. This girl. I was like Gorilla Spray, not the glue. But she like sprayed it on her hair. Here she is. This woman here. She sprayed the Gorilla Spray adhesive all over her hair to slick it down. And then realized that literally nothing gets Gorilla Glue off. She tried nail varnish or nail, whatever you call it, the stuff that takes nail. What's the stuff that takes nail stuff off? You're the girl. No, the stuff that takes off nail polish. Yeah. Okay. Acetone. 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 So she like tried acetone and always tried to do all sorts of things and could never get it off. Who's tired, me or you? It might be me. Might be me, Joe. Yeah. So I don't know what happened to her in the end, but she really like screwed up her hair. She had to have like here. You guys can see. She had to have surgery to get it off. Poor girl. Yeah, look. They had to actually like bathe her head in like chemicals and that to get it off. So don't be Gorilla Gluing anything on your head. Nothing. You love Gorilla Girl? That's Trish. Trish is Gorilla Girl. Oh, you mean Gorilla Glue? Okay. So yeah, don't be doing that. Chipmunk says Gorilla Glue was not on my bingo card for crime talk tonight. You never know what you're going to get on Nights with Ping. It could be anything from fugitives and poisoning with mushrooms to people who do stupid things with Gorilla Glue. You'll never know. I'll keep you guessing. Yes, thank you to my friend for that donation. That was very kind, very sweet. Helps out a lot. And we'll be back tomorrow. Woman of Steel said, not even my forehead? Not even. Michaela said, get some sleep and safe travels. Yeah, Joe, good night, my friend. Dr. Devices on Web Sleuth either? What is Dr. Devices? Gail said, I just wanted to watch a video of the guy that covered his hair in wax, hair removal wax. Oh my God, I felt the pain. Oh, okay, I'll have to watch that. Night all. Yes, good night, everyone. Miss Woozy said she was able to get it all removed after a 4-hour surgery and has since launched a product line called Forever Hair and a musical single named My Hair. Yeah, I'm sure she learned her lesson. Poor girl. 4 hours of surgery that's not small. That is a very hard surgery. Poor girl. Yes, good night, everyone. Have a good night out there. I will see you tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll do something. Until then, good night. Bye.